So if we go back to our three pillars, we can see that when it comes to immune response and viral survivability, what we need to be looking at is temperature and relative humidity. A temperature of 21 degrees C and relative humidity of 40 to 60% is the sweet spot for our immune system to work at its best, but also to make sure that the virus isn't thriving in our environment. But what we're going to be looking at mostly today is fresh air and the importance of fresh air in indoor settings. And when we're talking about fresh air, we need to be looking at CO2 as the benchmark data point. And this is because as you breathe in, you take oxygen out of the air and you expel CO2, carbon dioxide, back into the air. So when you're talking about a confined space, as people breathe, over time, the balance of the air will change. CO2 levels will rise, and that is really indicative of stale air that's being recycled between people, and therefore they're breathing in the same air, and it just increases the chance of COVID transmitting between these individuals. So we need to be looking at keeping CO2 safely between 300 to 500 parts per million. And it's when you start to see CO2 creeping over the 1,000 parts per million level that you really need to be worrying about either your occupancy being too high or your ventilation systems just not doing enough to get that fresh air into your workplace.